All right, we're recording.
Want me to do it?
Yeah, why don't you do it?
All right. Well, welcome to our facilities meeting. I think it's February 6th, 24. Barbara and Trisha are present, and Frank and Neil. And unfortunately, Rob cannot be present.
Nope.
I know Frank has the agenda up on his computer
And it's up
and
there
on
now.
the screen. So if you want to just go in order, that works for me. Okay with you, Barbara?
Okay with me?
All right, there might be things that we might jump, but it's
Sure.
just, I think we added a lot of things today as we were going on. So budget conversation. So we've been budgeting for next year, items of, this, we're wondering if there's anything that you're looking for, that we're looking at. Really, it's continued maintenance, fixing our potholes. Neil, do you want to talk about the blacktop?
Yes.
Yeah.
So then,
Oh,
It's that time of year.
yeah. Well, there's gonna be a lot of pothole fixing.
Oh, yes.
especially with the melting, freezing.
Oh, yeah.
So our plan is to have everything in April break, everything set up, and then just go get trucks of blacktop and top off all the potholes that will be popping up in the next couple weeks here. So hopefully keep everything smooth. We bust a tire in one of them. So, but overall, there's areas in our parking lot that need some work, but for the most part, they're not horrible. It's more a couple of the potholes just keep getting bigger and bigger every year, so.
How's that elementary school potholes?
We're trying to get the one area done this summer, the bus loop, as part of the work. There's some over in the teacher's lot, but those we can address through April break when nobody's in the lot.
So there also is a blacktop area that you want to do over by the athletic field,
Yes.
in the gym.
New section of blacktop. I don't know if you guys were here for homecoming, but right by where all the vendors are, we have that straight part coming over, and then there was a mud pit. So I'm working on getting it angled off and paved all the way over, and then sloping the turf away from that area, so it'll be running away from the building. It'll be smoother, more inviting, easier to plow, and then police usually come around at night just to do a building check. It'll be easier for them to drive through there because they cut through the mud.
Yeah.
So
And it's constantly a mud pit in that one area.
Is it just like the runoff of the pool roof? Like, or?
that's part of it,
Yeah.
but it's also just kind of built up. So as the water, anything has nowhere place to go.
Yeah.
So if it gets in there, it just sits.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, and the pavement won't cause any runoff problems.
No, we'll have it flat, if anything, pitched away,
Away.
because there is a storm drain just out there before it gets to the fields and a bit of a swale.
Mhm.
So it won't affect any
It'll
of the
go
playing
there.
surface.
Okay.
Did you have to regrade that area too?
A little bit, yes. Not anything serious, a few inches.
But that's a great segue into the next thing,
Hmm.
the top dresser and the equipment. So go right ahead into that.
So top dresser, with the side of the hill being dug out, we are saving some of the screen topsoil and using that to top dress our fields between soccer, softball, football, and some over to the satellite fields to help level them up and fill in some of the divots and potholes that we've developed in those over the years.
And so again, some of the satellite fields weren't built for the work that is on it. And the one is that little softball field that we were trying to build at one point. It's completely rocks and everything else. So the goal is to take some of that sand and dirt that we're taking off of there and bringing it over. Our people can do that and easily take care of that work. We just need to move it. So we'll have them move it and bring it over, but our people will take care of it. So they are going to get a top dresser that will help with a lot of our maintenance and field stuff as well.
And this is over April break as well?
No, that would be more over the summer.
Summer.
Yes.
So there's going to be we're going to have to rent some equipment probably. There's going to be a lot of work that will go into it because it's not part of the capital project, but it is. So it's not, the money's not coming out of the capital project. It will come out of general fund to be able to take care of that work. But it's a lot of good soil that if I buy it, we have it already.
Yeah, and how much is a top dresser?
Around 18,000. But it's something you do, ideally you do it during the year. We also can use it for spreading out infield mix on baseball and softball. So help keep that leveled up, and it's a whole lot less work than being out there with a shovel.
Yeah.
And we're currently using both fields, correct, for baseball, softball? Or is just softball here,
Softball here.
Softball,
baseball there?
Yes.
Got it.
currently that's a practice field over there.
Oh,
It's because it's not long enough.
Center field is only about 240 feet deep where the tree line is, where our property line is.
I didn't realize that.
So it's not deep enough to have a varsity field over there.
We
The
don't own,
town field is, fine. You know, the town is not in the field, Wallace.
Oh, well, it's hard.
yeah,
Is that
Road
right?
Park.
Is that right, Scott?
I have no idea.
I'm
I
pretty
mean,
sure
they
that's
used to play there.
it's regulation, I think.
Never actually been there.
I think
Never
it's,
been out there to measure.
so. Those are the two things there. So, and then also a vent track for the elementary school. So, you know, talk about that. We have one here at the high school now.
We have one at the high school. There's a picture of it in there. Use that. Yep, that one. So currently has a mower on it, but we recently ordered a V plow for snow removal. So it's about, the plow itself is about 5 feet, which is great for sidewalks. And with all the addition of sidewalks at the elementary school, it will be a lot easier to get in there to some of the tighter areas, to get those cleaned up and out of there.
And the tractor that we have down there now, the Bobcat, it's over 20 years old. It is failing. It's going to cost $4,000 to repair now. So it's getting to the point where it's time to get rid of that, surplus it, and get a new one.
Costs more in maintenance than it does to.
So we're at that point. So that's kind of where we're at. Any questions on that stuff?
No.
All right, Neil, update on what we got going on.
Camera project, we are waiting on Kamali to get the quote together and get back to us. Roof leaks,
That's the high school camera.
high school camera project.
Inside.
Inside, yes.
Outside's completely done.
Yeah, so inside and a couple halos as well.
Yeah.
As far as roof leaks, we have fixed 4 now. The roofers were here yesterday, just after we talked. So all 4 of the roof drains that were causing issues, that's what they
Yeah,
look like
this is a little
before.
example of what it looked like.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's,
Oh,
The roof.
that's what it was.
Yep. that's
And
really,
here's what it is.
yes.
Wow.
And then all the rocks came back in to help hold everything in place.
Nice.
Give you a little example.
So before and after.
What is that? A drain?
That's one of the roof drains, yeah. So
Because it's a flat roof.
flat roof, so the molding around it has failed due to age. And so the lead plate and the tar that was holding everything together, just like potholes, water gets in there, breaks everything up.
Mhm.
It's falling apart, failing, getting in around the drain, causing damage. One was in a classroom, one was in a storeroom, but getting on an electrical panel. One was in a hallway, or 2 were in the hallway. So it was definitely needed work.
And Neil, where do these drain to?
Uh,
I mean, besides the hall room or the hall classroom and
Where we
the
don't
storage
want
room.
so they come down and out into the, some of them, I believe, go into the septic system because it's more towards the middle of it. And then other ones go into, I believe one goes into the sub pump and is pumped out. Yes. Out of the,
So then, part of the issue we've had this year is with the heavy rain and slush. It seems like every leak that there has been, there's a new one day later after it. It's ridiculous this year, like the amount of leaks that we're finding, just because it's just piling up and the slush is there. And I mean, they fix one and then the next thing you know, there's another one. So there used to be a really bad one right out here at the corner as you walk. If you go straight, there was a bad leak right on the very corner. They could never fix it. But that one has not leaked since you guys have fixed it. But then now there's another one somewhere else, you know, so.
And you said that that drain goes into the septic. So we're on a septic system here, not on city water. I
I
mean,
think you're
you
saying
know.
elementary.
elementary is on.
This has a leach field.
This has a leach field on back, yeah.
The drainage is on something, not all the bathrooms.
Bathrooms are on the septic down there.
It's a septic for
Yeah.
school.
how do they rainwater into septic? Doesn't
Oh, I think I'm misspoke. I think it does go out and actually some of them do go out by the creek.
Oh,
So
okay.
just kind of, they lay it out.
Understand.
That makes sense.
That makes sense.
So almost like a.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
Gutter suit system. So yeah, not into the septic. So we don't have to pump that out as well. No, I misspoke on that one. Sorry.
So today, I had this wrong last night. I thought the kickoff was yesterday. Today was the kickoff for the roofing project at the elementary school. So Neil went up with the guys today and looked at it. And that's the one that's right over that stairwell that's getting repaired. That one's gonna be done. So we're working on them, but they just keep coming back.
The weather's cooperating now.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the roof.
So, transportation project, as we kind of talked about already. The bid status is on. We talked today at our owner architect meeting, and still a lot of people looking into it. Which was the one group that didn't have a lot of people? That mechanical.
Mechanical, there wasn't a lot.
Right, so, but the site contractors, electrical, there's been a lot of interest in it. So it's all subcontractors, if you're not familiar. So they bid out the different subcontractor of the thing. So the site contractor has a lot of interest, which is very good. And the more bids we have, hopefully the better it is for us. So that will go well. Baseball field. And I know I mentioned this once before, in one of the news and notes. So they are going to do the practicing over at the one field over here.
Satellite?
Satellite field. That'll be all the practicing. And I think they'll put modified games there as well, Joe said.
I believe they can play modified.
Yeah. And then they're gonna do practices on the fields here. Like, I mean, last year they were just practicing here on the soccer field for the modified games. And then they're gonna be playing at Soldier Field, was it? Not the
There was like Gilderland.
The Gilderland Field. I put it in the news and notes. I can't remember right now off the top of the head. It's the, what's the name of that field?
Dutchman something.
Yes, Dutchman Field. Dutchman Stadium. I think it's in my news and notes from text Joe. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'll text Joe to make sure the stadium is putting it. But we have a deal with that, and I did write that in the facilities component of it.
That's Gilderland High School's field, or is that?
It's
town park?
more of a town park. It's not actually at Gilderland High School.
All right.
I can't remember where it is off the top of my head and what I put in the news and notes.
I also cannot. Yeah, isn't,
You would know better than I.
well, I'm just trying
Been
to,
all those
not that my
fields.
children play baseball, but I feel like I know.
Every sports venue.
Venue.
Joe said we're gonna be spoiled, is what he said.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that was his, what he told me, and I don't know where it is either, but he was talking about how nice it is because we are gonna be completely spoiled.
It's kind of a nice offset, so they have to travel. for
Exactly.
Home games.
So that will be nice.
Seems well deserved.
Have fun.
So, and I'll get an answer from Joe on that one. High school vestibule, and I was thinking about today, have I actually shown you what we're doing out there, like walk you through it? I know we showed the plans, but have we walked through
No, we
that?
haven't walked through.
I
We
don't
only.
think
we saw the
so.
plans.
I think in the original time we tried to do something like that, you were talking about how weird it was with the angle.
Yeah.
And then something, they had another idea. I don't think.
So
they
we
have
think,
that.
so after we're done,
Okay.
I'd like to actually walk out and we'll just explain it to you both and then have Neil and I kind of go through it and what we're doing out there. It will make a lot more sense just showing you
Mhm.
than doing it. But the project was completely approved. So that will go out to bid and then we'll be able to get that done in the summer. And then we will get locked out just like you know today.
Also, remind me, we had money saved.
So
had something else.
we utilize different streams of money. Part of it was the old we had money left over from a capital project. We used smart schools funding that we reallocated. We went out and changed that configuration. That was, I think we did that 2.5 years ago.
Yes.
All this stuff takes time to move
Right.
through. So it's all paid for, it's all done. A lot of it was all smart schools or funding that we already had. So it's not really coming out of general fund or anything like that. So it's just reorganizing what we did.
And any lessons learned from doing the middle school one or?
No,
not
hopefully it
necessarily?
goes just like that, right? I mean, except for having the electric.
There was one miscommunication that basically I wasn't made aware of. They told my predecessor, but that has already been fixed and ordered, so we won't have that issue.
It's just a wiring issue.
Great,
Other
that's
than
great.
that, yeah.
So this is working out well.
It's been really nice. We've had multiple, parents really enjoy it.
Great.
People like the idea of just coming in, they drop it off, they don't have to come inside.
Right.
Parents wait there. It's really,
Oh, you get to use it as.
Oh, I get to use it more than I want.
and it's nice, right?
It is, it's lovely.
It's a lot nicer. And it's
There's always a
creative.
forgotten lunch. You
Yep.
know how it is.
There's
right?
always something.
Yes.
And it's big enough if you have a trombone, You can also go through the window. Yeah. Yeah.
Can you hand off a baritone?
You can, you literally, it's big enough to do so.
Okay.
So I didn't want to have, I went over this this is again, been a while since we met. I went over the elementary scope that we did at the board meeting and then what we did at the elementary school. This is going over everything that's happening down there. Do you want me to go over that again? I did go over it at the board meeting. This was kind of just if there were questions.
I don't have the need unless
Yeah.
there's something you want us to opine on or
Well,
there's concerns.
there will be in a minute. We have a new one that we want to have a conversation about, so let's bring that one up right now. And it will be here. Neil's got it.
All right.
All right. So the library.
They had, SED had questions about basically how the entrance was. So they said the two doors next to each other wasn't 100% up to code. So we got a couple different options of where to put in a couple more doors. So we are up to code.
In the actual library.
Yeah,
It's
so
actual
here, we
library.
have the original.
The library's moving, right?
No, the library's
Oh,
not
so
moving.
the library stays in the.
Library
Yes.
will be.
Let me
rolling.
get the picture, and I think that will make life a little bit easier. I'm just gonna stop sharing for 1 second because I have to go to my email. You have the original or no?
I just printed up, yeah, new options.
Okay.
And this is about egress, correct?
Yes, well, we've been grandfathered in, and what they're saying is, it's gotta be on the axis and diagonal. It's called remote egress, where you have to be in the in the library itself. And they're just shy of where they want us to be at the amount of egress. Now, the library is not huge. We went in it today. We were trying to figure out how we can help with the space a little bit more. So here we go. I'm gonna zoom in on this so you can see where the library, that's options.
Options, yeah.
And the
Do you have more
library,
copies?
they still have full classes in there.
They do, yeah.
I'm not sure how it's used at this point.
Yep, no, there's classes, they use maker spaces, they have, different things that after school,
After
we do
school.
faculty meetings in there. Did he not send it to me? Where'd it go?
Okay.
So,
I think that was just the options.
yeah, he just gave us the options, yeah. So I'm just kind of gonna go over the library really quick. If you go down the hallway, and
Here, you want to see now? I've got option.
this is option one, but let's say you're going down the corridor as you walk into the building.
Yeah.
This is here's the main office over this way. You're coming in.
Wait, Art,
Yeah.
Oh,
wait,
right
wait.
here, sorry, this way.
Yeah.
Here we go. Oh, you- I got it wrong.
I'm like, wait a minute.
You're coming in this way.
Okay.
And right now, there's a door that goes in this way here,
Uh-huh.
and there's a door that goes in here.
Right.
They're saying that we need to have more doors. There's not
More
enough
doors or just a wider door?
more doors
Okay.
because of how far it is from the diagonal.
Oh.
Oh, understood.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right, right now, I'm gonna show, because this isn't what we currently have right now. If you go to here, where my cursor is,
Mhm.
this is where it cuts off. There is currently,
That's the current
This is the
library.
There's a
current-
wall there.
there's a wall here.
Yeah.
Okay. This is the nurse's office in here. I think the library comes to here, actually.
Okay.
This is the nurse's office. That's going away. So this is the maker space now. So we are extending the library even further. The maker space will be in this area. This is a green screen. So a wall for green so they can do
Mhm.
videoing and different things. And this used to be a vestibule where we had the toilet and then went into the IT office. We now have to make this into a corridor. It has to be big enough because we have to put a door in here. He's still calling it vestibule, but it's a corridor.
And,
Well,
and
that's
the core,
current door into the nurse's office.
Yes, but it has to be wide enough
Mhm.
and big enough, so we have to keep that in there.
and it has to be there obviously because it is the only access to that toilet and the IT office currently.
Correct.
Understood.
And that's kind of the way that we did it. So then we have the maker space, they have more water, water aspect here, so they still have everything they wanted. And we were able to still give an extra toilet in the area. Here comes the issue.
Okay.
What they want to do, one option is to put a door over here on the far end. That's breaking down the masonry, moving, one of the, actually getting rid of completely, one of the bookshelves. And there's not a ton of space there already, so we're trying to maximize some of that. And this door already had to be moved back. This is it's a fire door. That was already moving back, so it just moved back a little bit further, which I'm not super keen on, but we have to look at this further, and then we were able to have that egress. We could keep this door here, close this one off. If we close this one off, and Neil has, you know, better ones for you, we then can put more cabinetry here. The teacher has the desk. I think she wants to keep her desk in this area.
That way she can monitor both sides.
Both sides, yeah, that makes sense.
And then that would be able to meet the needs of what we have to do. There's no door here, Neil? I thought we were supposed to put a door there. Is that option?
That's
That's
option
three.
Okay.
would be
Like
the
that's
both
one.
doors.
So that would be enough supposedly for SED to be able to be okay with it.
Is there an issue of like, you know, the fire doors that are, you know, in that space that, yeah, right there.
Please, yeah.
So having the egress that's beyond those fire doors, like, is that, do you know what I mean? Like, does that make more sense? I mean, when would the fire doors be closed?
Only when there's fire. And
Right.
like, so fire alarm goes off or any item like that, that's when they're closed. So if you have an event at night, you would typically close those off, but you just lock that door, and therefore you still have the whole building kind of locked off as well.
Well, I guess, like, if the fire doors are closed because there is a fire,
Mhm.
you could still get through them though.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
We
You can
never
always
lock,
get through them.
absolutely. Yeah. The only time you would lock them is if you were trying to contain like a night event. Say you have an event
Mhm.
and you want to just keep it to the egresses that are there, and I don't think they've ever done this, that would be the only time you would lock that door.
Okay.
To stop people from going into the other aspects of the building.
So there's no bonus to having a door on the other side of
No.
the fire doors.
I don't see any bonus of that.
And it's okay to lock those, like what if there's a fire during someone using it at night?
They come, whatever way you go in, there's a way to get out. So it's always, you can lock it going in and you lock it going out. There's always the egresses going down.
Yeah,
You have the egresses this way and that way. But we've never, again, I'm being hypothetical.
Yeah.
We've never done that. I'm
but
just saying.
no, I mean the
yeah.
one in the library.
Oh, the library, you can lock at night. They would
You can lock people out, you can't lock anybody in.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
but yeah, at night we lock them all.
Mhm. So someone, if there's a fire, could still use that door.
Oh, absolutely. No, we never, oh yeah. Yeah, never locked in.
No.
Ever.
Nope. The way the door handles style that we use, you can lock people out, but you cannot lock anyone in. And if that does happen, we have to replace that door now.
Here is, this is one that may go through SED. We're not sure. So that's a problem too. They open this up, they put a door on this end
Mhm.
here. So that creates that ability to leave. And you keep these two doors. Which seems like the most effective way if it will go through SED. If it doesn't go, you put it in and then you push this back another month for review, which is a problem.
And is the toilet like a student toilet or?
It
is
can be
like
in
a-
any one toilet,
It can be
yep.
in any one toilet, right?
It's a single stall.
Mhm.
So that would be nice for someone in the bathroom. They could just go right there and leave again. And think about that. So that is an option. So, and then that way you don't move this. Neil and I were talking today about maximizing some other spaces over here with the librarian and getting some new cabinetry around the desk area, but that's wishful thinking at this moment. Next one.
So you think maybe they wouldn't like that because it leaves that hole.
When I
open
asked-
with no door.
When I asked the architect today, I said, would this meet the needs and specs that SED is asking for? And he said they have to measure it, but he didn't think it would be perfect.
Because of that back corner.
Yeah.
I was
from
saying, it
here-
seems like that corner.
That
here.
space with
Yeah.
no door.
Yeah, because right now it's grandfathered in,
Mhm.
but again, when you get in, it doesn't seem like a ton of, like, it's not as big as you think it is,
Yeah, right.
but
Yeah, it's not a big space.
No.
it really isn't. But they're saying that might not be long enough. So we could and see if it would work and see if he could have it go through SED. but there's always a chance that it couldn't.
Mhm.
The next option, keeping this and adding this door back here. And he shows us getting blocked off.
Mhm.
I'm not sure if I really like blocking this off because that entrance is used all the time. This one isn't. And it
Maybe,
goes into
maybe
the
we
gas-
discuss blocking off the other one on the makerspace side. So we have the one over by IT office, the
Mhm.
heavier used door that he has blocked off, and then the one up top.
Yeah. And the idea of blocking them off allows us to put cabinetry there and another shelf, so we're not limiting the librarian's ability to be able to stock the shelves with books.
And this one replaces the door that goes in beyond the fire doors.
Yeah.
That bookshelf just basically would be removed. I mean, or the space, I should say.
Yeah,
would
we'd
be
have to get
lost.
new casework, unfortunately, because it's connected, which causes increase of price too. But
Of course.
unfortunately, it's not a great thing that we're dealing with. This is just negative impact on budget.
And just remind me once more, he said, whoever you spoke to said,
Dark.
the architect said, that this, if we have the door that's beyond the fire doors.
Yep.
The one that's close to the IT office
Yep.
near the vestibule, and one in the center, that
One of
meets
these.
all the marks.
We are probably set to go.
Okay.
That's what he thinks. And then this option is,
The iffy, oh, wait, what's this one?
it's still iffy. I think it's one of the same.
I say, isn't that similar to the
It's
one that
similar.
it's too much of a?
Oh, it just takes out, there's a lip here that goes out
Uh-huh.
that we created an extra door for them to have their video screen. Just takes that away, that's all.
Oh, yeah, I see that.
What are your thoughts?
Well, it seems like option 3 makes, I mean, it makes the most sense if that's eventually going to be what they are requiring,
Most likely.
right? I mean, isn't it the only option that deals with a door beyond the fire doors in that, that corner? I mean, all the other options, you've got like a dark space, you know what I mean? A
Mhm.
space that you don't have that amount of egress. Although, were you saying though that they did mention that we would be grandfathered in something?
No, we are grandfathered in now.
Current setup.
When you're
Current setup.
doing it over, grandfathering goes away.
Understood. So then this, I think, it seems like all the parameters that you've set forth.
Yeah.
That they've told you that are required, this looks like the only one that meets that.
We were
Unless I'm
kind of
missing
slightly
something.
hoping the other one did, because it's better
don't-
for the setup.
I just don't
inside
like
and
having
cheaper.
them lose, I don't want them to lose space.
Right.
You know, that's a concern, because we talked today, we're gonna probably try to build an alcove over here for them. Like remove their desk, the desk is really big. If you go to the elementary school, there's a giant reception desk here.
Yeah.
So we talked to, the librarian and the teacher aide that was in the room today. And we we're talking about removing some of that and then creating an alcove shelves for students. So maximizing that space a little bit more
Mhm.
and kind of buying back some of the area. So we think with that, again, I'm not sure if we can get that in, but if we could, it would,
It'll make up for that.
they'll make up for it. That's the biggest concern.
And
This would help make up for it as well.
True.
My question though is, you've all been to the elementary school, you've used it. This door is the door that everybody uses. Because it's straight path into the library. How do we feel about changing that flow?
I personally don't care. I think we use it because it's just
You think
convenient.
there?
But if there's another door, we'd use that.
And I mean, once this year's or next year's kindergartners start using the other door, they're always gonna know, you know what I mean? And
Exactly.
then it just,
So I think it's librarian's preference at this point.
Yeah.
As I
Or
think-
whatever
Yeah.
works better with pricing or.
Well, I think the price at this point is all gonna be. changing.
and the workroom exists currently.
Yes.
And what is,
Well, we're
in the-
existing.
So the one in the
That
bottom
little
right
room in
corner.
This right now,
Yeah.
this is actually the social workers room,
oh, okay,
because we don't have space down there for everybody.
understood.
So that workroom now is a social, that's where we keep our social worker. I hate to say keep our social worker, but that's where our social worker is housed. Because they just didn't have the spaces available. Now that it's going into, there will be a specific guidance suite. The
Mhm.
social worker will be there with
So it's
guidance
just
counselors,
temporary.
psychologists. Yeah.
But would that be newfound space?
It's still gonna be there because there's,
You can't take the walls down.
You can, but then we're gonna take away the sink. There's cabinetry, there's built-in
All in
desks.
there?
Yeah, there's a whole
Wow.
bunch of stuff in that area.
So what will they use it for?
Office space, storage space. We're not doing major construction in here.
Yeah,
It's only this area. We really weren't touching that except for the rug.
and will they be able to have their, you said they have a movie screen or something?
Yeah,
that
it's
would
gonna be
have to
right here.
moved? Oh, okay.
No, they have,
The lip thing or whatever you're talking
this
about.
looking, well, yeah, everything is still there that they want.
They'll be able to have
Yep.
that other.
So,
And the reason we're touching that at all is just because you can get a little bit more space for them.
we were touching this
Like the library at all, like, why is it part of the project? Because we're extending
because they
it a
would
little
like, they'd like a maker space. So when we met with the teachers, they really wanted to have a maker space available.
Mhm.
So since we're moving the nurse's office already,
Right.
and that was part of the conversation, we figured our staff really want to have this.
bit. Mhm.
It's something that is going to benefit the students in the long run. Let's put it into the library and create that area. So that's why
Yeah.
we're doing it. Any other thoughts on that?
It seems a little risky to go to one you don't think will be
That's what I
approved and then be
feel.
delayed.
I don't love it,
I don't-
but it's,
I agree with Barbara, like that one, although it might cost more and have other things that we don't, other circumstances.
I mean, ultimately, it's gonna be the one that they're gonna tell you.
Right.
You know, like,
that's how I feel. Like I don't love putting a door over here because
No, but-
then we have to shift this. This isn't the scale. We have to shift this down. It's just gonna change the makeup of it a little bit more.
mhm. But you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
even though we don't prefer it, even though it takes away some of the things that, you know, but it does make a whole new maker space.
Yeah, so it's gonna be nice.
Well, ultimately, this is what,
Yeah, and I'm sure they didn't give you this option for a reason, but what if the door that's favored now is just shifted a little bit further toward those bookshelves? And then you wouldn't have to move stuff like you're talking about?
Oh, no, I think,
Probably,
I think there's already,
Probably a reason why they're.
I think
they
there's a
didn't
bookshelf, right?
suggest
I think there's things right here already. I
Oh,
don't think you
okay.
can shift that door.
that. Okay.
You know, you were in that today with me too. I can't remember.
Yeah, there's
So
bookshelves
anywhere
that
on that
come
wall, there's
basically right up to
an
that wall.
impact.
Yeah. So. All right, one thing I just do want to know is if you go to the elementary school right now, I like to call it the headbanger because it happens all the time. Right now, it's 3 doors for our fire doors, if you ever noticed it, and
yep.
there's a giant pole in the middle of them, which
yes,
I've literally run into it before, and I've seen kids do it too. So if you notice, all the fire doors are getting replaced to have it be 2 doors, so we'll no longer have that issue of kids and
Yeah.
adults. hanging in
2
there.
wider doors instead of 2 normal doors and a
Post.
small.
Yeah,
and yeah,
Posts.
and I can imagine like in an emergency.
yeah, so I just want to note that as we're looking at it, that it's gonna change.
Yes, yes.
Good, all right, I think we'll go with that one then. We'll have that conversation. All right, next. Oh, Joe texted back, so let me. Jeshman Field and Gilliland.
You're gonna have to go for a
I
little
gotta
while,
go figure
Barbara.
out.
Here, he gave me the website, so let's go to the website right now.
You're probably gonna recognize it and be like, oh, I know
Oh,
that.
I know where that.
Jeshman
Driven by it 100 times.
Field. Gilliland, Roger Keenholz Park.
Oh, it's Keen Holtz. You should have just said that.
He calls it Judgment Field.
Of course, Keen Holtz Park.
Yeah.
No, that's lovely over there.
So,
And huge athletic facility. Like,
Yeah.
they've got all the,
As he
all the
said.
fields. It's really nice.
yeah, so
Yeah.
he said, it's gonna be spoiled.
It's great they could accommodate us.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
really happy. They were being really flexible. He said they're being great.
That's
Being
awesome.
very gracious and supportive of everything, so.
Oh,
a
that's
very good thing.
great.
Yep,
Oh,
and he's
wonderful.
done a nice job getting it together. They got the PO, so we're all good to go.
Perfect.
All right, just really quick, there was a conversation that came up regarding,
Mhm.
the elementary school and our drainage. There is no impact on what the village is doing in comparison to what we're doing. They're not connected. So we work with hoteling all the time, and we went through it already, so there's no impact at all.
What was the village doing that?
They were doing some drainage project coming down Crow Ridge.
Understood.
That still doesn't quite drain.
Still doesn't quite drain.
Well,
still in the
it
planning
seeps
phase of it.
through the,
They're still working on it, so it's not done yet.
Oh.
But
Understood.
yeah, it's not
A
gonna impact.
while ago, I remember there was an issue, the culvert that ran under was draining into us.
Mhm.
And that was like something we were talking to the village about. Do you remember that?
Yeah, we fixed that, I believe.
Oh, so it's not an issue.
Yeah, not an issue. And it wasn't ours. We owned that. They didn't own that one.
Oh,
So we should be fine at this point. But Brett's working closely with us, and if there is any issues, he'll bring it right up to us.
great, wonderful.
The phones, I signed the quote, so we talked about replacing all the phones, so we are moving forward with that. That's for next year. So that's all BOCES funded, and we got a really good deal, as Jim mentioned last time. So we're just gonna be moving forward with that and being able to make sure that we can have phones for the future. And not be using
Wonderful.
Like we have. All right, Gaga Court. So
All right.
here's one that's come up that it's a little confusing because
Mhm.
Neil and I are both confused because I think there's a lot of hands involved in this one. So it's come to Jeff's attention, and this is brought to Jeff, and that was at PTA level as well. Aiden Hartman is an Eagle Scout.
Mhm.
He would, for part of his project, and Jeff is supportive of it. Aiden would be responsible for fundraising, constructing the court, and donating it to the Voorheesville Central School District at Gaga Court. If you're
Right.
not familiar with Gaga,
Oh.
it's some type of,
I don't know what
It is it is a rite of passage in Boy Scouts. When you go to
Oh.
Rotary, you learn how to play Gaga ball. And it is in this big pit.
yeah, we have a couple
Yeah, well, there
pictures,
you
yeah,
go.
we'll show you.
Yeah. It's fun.
Yeah.
Apparently it's really,
We've had a parent during COVID actually reach out and ask about it as well, saying,
Mm-hmm.
we'd love to have a Gaga pit for the kids. So this is
Yeah.
something that's come up before
Okay.
that we've heard. So it could add to the elementary school, add to the, the activities of the kids. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, like, I heard it's huge. Like, when we go camping, there's Gaga ball courts,
Yeah.
and I've never heard.
no, at Boy Scout camp, this is the thing.
Really?
Yeah.
So Aiden was informed the district would be conducting some site work in the summer, and they're a
Mhm.
temporary location, and move to its permanent location once the site work is completed. Neil and I are a little confused still about what that's going to look like, because if it's a temporary one or not temporary, how they're gonna install that. So we're a little confused, because if Aiden's gonna do this by March and have it board approved and then put it in, it's gonna be temporary. And they can't move it later, and I
At
believe
least
they want,
portable.
right?
Yeah.
But what you're hearing is they wanna put rubber matting down. And then they also wanna
Layer
put a,
stone and then a layer of the rubber matting to make it a little bit more permanent. But with all the work this summer, that might be a stretch. So that's the other reason we wanted it portable, is so we could move it around a little bit as one area gets more beat up. We could recover that area and then go back and beat up another area.
When does Aiden have to have this project
Yeah,
done?
his timing might.
soon, that's the problem.
March
So
17th, I
yeah,
believe.
this
is
just-
his 18th birthday.
Right. I was gonna say, I thought he's March, so.
So right around the
Wow.
corner, yeah. So it's gonna have to be done right around the corner.
Okay. So you're saying if he goes ahead with this project, he wants to do it like now.
Yeah.
Which is gonna be before like any of the site work. So it has to be, the court has to be movable,
Correct.
but he's building it more of a permanent.
No, this would be the
Structure?
court. This is what we were told.
Uh-huh.
But then Neil heard a couple different things from Mr. Ravenzio about changing it up a little bit. So he's just got to confirm exactly what it's going to be, because this is the proposal that we got. And I just want to know, we want to know exactly what it's going to be.
Mhm.
We're hearing, I think it's all in best interest. People are like, oh, we could do this, or we could do that, and we can help support it. Like the PTA is being really good at funding the program. So that's fantastic for
That's-
Eden.
Wonderful.
Yep. It's just that we need to know exactly what we're approving and what we're gonna put in. So we
Right.
understand.
You don't wanna let him down if you then have to rip it up.
Exactly,
Yeah.
right? That would
after he
be
did so much
horrible.
work.
Yeah.
We want to support him, and he's supporting our community by doing so.
Oh,
It's a great
absolutely.
project. In my mind, I'm very supportive of it.
Yeah.
I would
No, this is
recommend you
wonderful.
support it. Good.
And he included the one with the ADA gate.
Oh, he did.
Oh,
I-
that's great.
Is this the one or no?
Nope, that's just the regular entrance
Yeah.
that's dropped down, but down, there's the gate.
Oh, that's amazing. This is so great. Okay, and this is the rubber floor.
That's the rubber flooring.
Rubber flooring.
And it just sits over dirt, does it
Yeah, it's
not?
all,
They suggested putting down a layer of stone, so,
Mhm.
build it up a little bit, so you know, you get rain, it doesn't just come up through the
Oh.
matting.
Oh, that's
But then you're more of a permanent location, which if we're ripping everything up back there in the summer is not ideal.
Mhm.
So the portable option, I think is better. So I'm gonna talk to Jeff and see if we can get exactly what he's asking to do.
Yeah.
And
He should have that all as part of his
Mhm.
Eagle project.
Yeah.
You know, so, I
we
mean, I'm
should be
sure
able to get the answers fairly easily.
really quickly, yeah. All of this had to be approved, you know, by his project, so.
Yeah.
And, you know, I mean, Aiden is, you know, he's great. He'll get it to you immediately.
You're in favor? Everybody thinks it's a good thing?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's gonna be exciting and I think it's great. So I want kids to do more like this.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
wonderful.
So it's good stuff. The last one is an idea that I came up with. No, and then I'm forcing it on Neil, so I apologize, and I want to talk to you about it. Our gym at the elementary school, our gymatorium, we'll call it.
Is it a regular gym or a little gym?
The gym where everything is,
Yeah.
The regular gym, yeah.
the regular
The
gym.
gymatorium, yes.
I spend every Saturday there because my daughter plays basketball, so I stand and I watch it all the time, and I'm there, and every time I go in, there's little things about it. It's old, it's out of date.
Mhm.
It needs a little love and caring. And there's a few things that we could do. So one of the things we want to do is over the summer and over the next year is facelift that gym a little bit. Some new paint, talk about, I'm not saying paint the bricks, but, have uniform, mats across so they're all the same color eventually, so they're not two different colors right now. Paint new white, or new colors up at the top. Maybe paint the brick at the top or not. That's a conversation we can have. But one of the bigger issues that I wanted to address was across the railings on where the balcony is, there's it's probably like 3 foot wide across the whole length of it, basically a wall between the balcony and the floor. And I have a video of it, so I can show it to you, a picture. I took a picture, so
You're talking about the flooring of the balcony
yeah, I'm gonna,
until it meets the railing.
yep, this
Okay.
part. And I'll show you too, Trish.
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
All right, that part.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that again. Oh, come on.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, see that right there? There's the other side. Well, which we can take on the no smoking sign. I don't think we're gonna need that any longer. So,
I've noticed a few of them around, but.
yeah, so it's cracked, it's falling apart, it needs to be patched.
This is the facade of it?
Yeah, the facade of it, it needs to be patched, it needs to
The
have.
structure's fine.
The structure's fine,
Okay.
but it's like that, like
It's
the,
like stucco.
yeah, stucco, that's exactly what it is.
Stucco plaster, yeah.
Yeah, so that needs to be patched, but what I'm gonna propose is we get a professional signage, either long sign or there's vinyl signing that can go over it, so patch it. We don't have to do crazy work of patching and having it be perfect, but we patch it. And then we have the branding of Voorheesville, sometimes, the Voorheesville birds or whatever it's going to be, go the full length, so then it's cleaned up.
Mhm.
And it really helps match what the theme of the school is, the theme of what, Voorheesville is,
Mhm.
and having it go across the two things. So really just paint job, new signage, and really trying to clean that up. So it's where everybody goes. It's our main space. We have tons of community there.
Oh, yeah.
What's your thoughts on that?
I think, the elementary school there's a lot of spots that show
Yeah.
its age. And it certainly is charming and wonderful and it's nostalgic, but at the same time, it does need, it needs upgrades.
So we're gonna do a lot of work at the elementary school. The gym isn't getting the work, right?
Right.
We put in a huge entertainment system in there to be able to make things easy.
Mhm.
This is an upgrade that mostly our people could do
Mhm.
over a period of time, or we could get a painting company to come in and paint for us. So it's doable on our end. It's something that we can put through the general fund.
Mhm.
It's not gonna cost a fortune to upgrade that and just take care of it. So
And
I'd
is
like
it-
to explore that more.
It would be done like in an off season so that it doesn't.
Yeah, like over the summer, I'm thinking something like that, I would take care of it. So the other question I have is the brick.
I would have to be there to look.
You know what, it's nice because it's old but it's, a million little hands have touched the brick.
Yeah.
It's kind of dirty. Okay. Well, it's an elementary school. Every child is touched or.
So the
Yeah.
question is, do we paint the brick?
Mhm.
Right? Do you add, the top of the balcony? Do you change that look? So that's a conversation that we can have and kind of talk about, what would you like to see? How would you like it to look down there? Like, and I haven't even talked to you about the brick. It was just something I was thinking about.
I don't know maintenance issues once you paint brick.
I didn't see an issue probably.
I would say
It's
that
probably cleaner
it's probably cleaner to wash it then. You can wash it, but you gotta repaint it.
Mhm.
And it's got lots of nooks and crannies and
Mhm.
crevices.
You'd have to spray
We'd
it.
have to spray.
Yeah. But then it becomes, we think every couple of 5 years, you'd have to repaint it.
Well, like you said, if we did a white on there, that would brighten it up the most, but it would have to be 5 years probably as a minimum to paint it.
Mhm.
'Cause like you said, all the little fingers are on there. So
Just something to think
it's
about.
something we could think about.
It
We all
would
agree.
certainly brighten that space.
Yeah.
We all agree it's dated
Mhm.
and it needs a little TLC. So
I mean, you look at the LGI and how much better that looks.
I know.
And I see like what you're trying to do.
Right.
Mhm.
I'm not that person that knows the specifics of how to make that happen. So
Right. The LGA looks beautiful.
it's gorgeous.
And it's just,
Mhm.
it's small changes, just to, to update where we need to be.
It's noticeable when we're in there at our board meetings, looking around.
Yeah.
Don't you think? Looks
Oh,
so much
yeah.
nicer.
The elementary is gonna be probably the jewel of our district after it's done, I think, like with the outside and the changes of it and the cafeteria and
Mhm.
the inside whole, how it's all connected. It's
Which
really
is
good.
another reason to
Make
facelift
that-
the gym a little bit, because if everybody's coming in brand new,
Yeah,
looking outside and
more
hallways, and
noticeable.
then you go into the gym.
the old section.
And we're fixing the outside too, so that pink kind of falling
Mhm.
stucco that's all around the end of the building is also getting fixed as well. So, okay. That's all we had.
All right.
It's kind of nice when you're spending all that money and it's very tangible for people to see.
It is.
Versus when you're putting in a new furnace.
And I know,
That's true.
the library, with all the changes that are happening there, if people are gonna think that the library's new too, you know what I mean, with like the whole makerspace in it. So, I think with
Carpet.
all of that
Well,
change, like. it's-
Carpet and LED lights.
Yeah.
So, because you gotta remember, all the lights, they're gonna get new lights. I think the library's refurbished. But they're gonna be new and everybody's getting new, what are these things called?
Lenses.
Thank you. So we're getting all new lenses across the district. So, because the lenses are all different shades and colors, if you
Oh,
look at them
yeah.
all.
So our light bulbs will all be the same color, and then the shades, or the lenses will be all be
yeah.
the same color. yes.
Oh, that's nice. Are they cool or are they warm?
I believe they were cool, but I would have to double check.
It's the same spec that we have down in the far end near the Earth Science Wing, because we did that whole hallway over the summer because we had to rip that out. So, and redo it with the other capital project we did. So I think it's cool spec
I think it is.
because we did a lot of work on the lumens and,
Yeah, yeah.
we did all the studies that went
Yeah,
with
all
it.
that
So it's whatever we spec'd out there is the same spec that we're doing with the rest of the building.
Great.
How is it going with the, building use request form thing? Well, we've set up the dates
Yeah.
for the seasons. Is that causing issues anymore? Is it like calm down?
For the most part, it's running pretty smooth, and it's a whole lot easier for myself and my guys to keep track of it and have it all in one spot and all the information on there. So we can just pull up the calendar, look at it quick, click
Yeah.
on the event. Like the other night or last Friday, we had a dance going on. We had people in the pack. We had basketball games going on, and then it was all, the information for us was all in one spot.
That's great.
We did have, I'm sending myself a reminder right now because that's a really good question you brought up.
As we're going to get into another. season.
That's exactly,
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna send out a reminder. I'm gonna
Well,
talk to Joe about
I don't
that.
remember the deadline dates for.
Yeah, neither do I, but that's why,
use.
when you brought this up, I go, that's a really good point. So we had, because not everyone's thinking about it, so deadline dates and reminder about submission. We had some growing pains
Yeah.
with the last one. And I think it was people not understanding the system. I don't think the structures that we needed in place were there as well, like communication wise, we fixed that.
Right.
Because again, there's a learning curve on everything you do. So I think the last season, the winter sports season, it did start off a little rough. And
Because it was basically first come, first serve.
Mhm.
So people were booking gym time that before other people who usually had it.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's chocolate.
yeah, so we had a little issue.
It's
So
always really hard with the gym too.
Right, so
Everyone wants.
when we get to that,
Zoom in
the
wintertime.
fields, we have to do the same thing. We have to put the submissions in, but we can't approve any of those submissions until it's all the deadline. Like, I think that's gonna be the issue that we have to make sure that we fix that problem.
Understood?
Yeah, good question. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's good because that helps with that. What else we got?
Oh, it's in my brain right now.
Right?
All right, you want to go take a walk and go look at the
Yeah,
thing?
absolutely.